Okay, everybody, we're gonna have to put those forms aside for a moment. We are going to be creating 3 fins for our fish that match and 1 back fin that is its own unique shape. You will need tracers, transparencies, Sharpies, and a pair of scissors. Let's start small. Take 1 transparency and write your name and code as small as you can in one of the corners. You can't write it in the middle this time because this thing is clear. You'll be able to see it, and you don't want that on your fin. Then take your tracer and carefully trace the shape 2 times. We're going to be making more of these, but start with 2. Okay, now let's focus on these 2 fins and how we want to decorate them. I would start with the black Sharpie still and add some lines or circles or polka dots or some type of guidance for how you color the fins. You might not just want to jump in with colorful Sharpie because you might not know the plan. So I'm using black Sharpie to start with, and I'm just drawing some lines so that I know where to color stuff. This part is totally up to you. I mean, you could draw a bunch of hearts all around the fins and then color the hearts in many different colors. I'm trying to stick with the goldfish idea, so I just kept my design simple, and I'm going to color in the different squares with orange and yellow to match the fish's body that I created. Something that helps keep me focused is to color little X's on the parts that I want to be yellow. So I've marked out all the squares that I want to be yellow, and now I can stay focused and color in each of those squares. You can turn the transparency around and around to make the angle easier to color. Now let's move on to orange. I'm going to put a few X's all around to help me focus on what to color. And here I go. Also, you can leave some peekaboo spots. I'm going to leave some of my squares or rectangles clear because I think the transparency being clear is very cool. Voila! I am done with 2 of my fins. Now all I need to do is cut them out so that they're ready to glue on the body. Check out how the light goes through the transparency and hits the table. How amazing is that? Let's cut out number 2, and then I'm going to pause to show you where these are going. So these 2 fins are going to be glued on each side of our sphere, like that. But we need a back fin and a tail fin. So we're going to get a new transparency for that. We're going to write our name and code nice and small in the corner to keep it out of the way, but it's still with our name on it in case we have to stop early. And you're going to trace another one of these fin shapes, and then the back fin shape is a different shape. It's kind of pointy. Once you've traced both, take a moment to plan out your design. I'm just going to keep mine matching to the 2 other fins I created. I'm going to put X's before I color, And I'm going to use some movie magic to get this done. Magically, they are all colored in, and now they are magically going to be cut out. So these two fins are going to go on the back and top of the fish. So if the fish is right here, those are where the fins are going to go. Now, let's talk about where we're going to keep these fins. We are going to have a shoebox at each of our tables that we're going to keep the fins in while we're working on them. It may take a couple of days for us all to finish these, and we need a place to keep them where we can easily find them again. So the shoebox is going to be the place where we're keeping all the small stuff, the fins and the eyes. Let's talk real quick about how we're going to attach these, just so you know where they're going. The pointy fin is going to go on top of the fish. It's called a dorsal fin. One of the fin shapes is going on the back end of the fish. And then the first two fins we made are going on either side. We'll talk about this later, but to make them easy to glue, you are going to fold the fins. We're not doing that yet though. We have one more thing we need to create: the eyes. So let's get started. Once again, we are going to be using pieces of egg cartons for the fish's eyes. Look how perfect they are. They even have circles in the middle for the black pupil of the eye. So let's get started building these. First, just like when we created beaks with these, you need to trim around the edge of the carton to make it even. That way it's easier to glue onto the fish and it looks more like an eye. The scraps from the egg cartons can be recycled in the blue box under the paint table. Speaking of paint, let's paint these cute little eyeballs. The middle circles should be black. You can pick any color you want for the actual eye color or the irises. And then the outer edge should be probably white. So let's use a pointy dry paintbrush thanks to the pinch and twist, and let's carefully paint the middle black on both eyes. The black center or middle of the eye is called the pupil. Okay, so the pupils had to be black, but the next color you choose can really be any color you want. Any of these colors will work, except black. For the iris. The iris is the colorful part of the eye that surrounds the pupil. I chose blue for my iris, and now I'm going to paint a circle around the pupil on both eyes. Now, with a very, very clean and pointy paintbrush, I'm going to paint the outer edge of this eye with white. And actually, I'm going to paint only half of it white, and the top half is going to be orange. You know why? I am painting eyelids on my eyes. Since my fish is mostly orange, I'm going to paint orange eyelids on top of these eyes. You don't have to paint eyelids. You could just paint white all the way around. time to switch to orange so that I can paint those eyelids on both sets of eyes. The eyes are done. They just need to dry, and then we'll be gluing them onto our fish's face. They will look so amazing. Let's get cleaned up. Your paint tray and water cup need to go on your table's tray, the black tray. The shoebox, again, is supposed to be your home for the fins you made and your eyes. Now the eyes are wet with paint, so try to put them separately from the fins and other people's eyes. Also be careful when you're carrying that shoebox around. Lastly, wipe your hands and your table with a rag and have a seat and wait for that lineup song.